This episode of Speakers of Hydaelyn is made possible by our generous patrons, like Chris, Sarnai Hema, Metalligo, Phaleon, Jojo Chaos, Ariel, Courtney, Daimos, Sprocket, Christoph Haas, Centra, Casey Schaefer, Bobby Forbich, and Omeji Cat Comet. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV.
This is Speakers of Hydaelyn.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Hydaelyn, episode 83. I am Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Yaspot, Rolodez, and Maela Vanadar.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. It's the silence before the storm. Eureka is coming up in a few days.
Can I just say I'm actually really excited now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was okay, and now it's boiling over. I'm like really excited.
Yeah.
It's actually happening. It's coming.
3 days, Relics in 3 days, dude. What?
We don't we're not going to talk about Eureka too much. Actually, we are in the great discussion today. We might actually we're probably going to talk about it, but
we have no new information about Eureka, unfortunately.
We'll get to that. But our main story is the Ungarmax ban waves. Shit's been going down. We don't know if it's done yet. Might be another wave. Who knows? The Feast Season 5 rewards have been revealed. Minimum eye level was the Stone Vigil this week. And in the great discussion, we're going to talk about Relics and how they operate in 14 and if Eureka is going to break the current cycle or not. And MogMail. Of course. Need to talk about MogMail a little bit because we found out yesterday that because I was wondering, like on the from the previous episode till yesterday, there was not a single MogMail, and there had not been a single MogMail taking in since the 27th of February, and I thought, okay. People just don't want to send us MogMail. That's fine. But then I started reading chat, and they were like, I sent MogMail. I sent MogMail. I'm like, no, you didn't. There's no MogMail in here. There's something wrong with our website. So your MogMail is most likely lost if you sent it between the 27th and Friday.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that, and I don't know how that happened. So we did some live troubleshooting yesterday. It seems to work now. The website is slow now. I think the thing that happened is the website was slow. I've optimized it as best I could, but when you send your MogMail, you have to wait for the confirmation window. And when the website is slow, you might think, okay, it's sent now, but you have to wait for it. If you close out of the website before it's done, we won't get your MogMail. So then I know that some people tried to send MogMail yesterday. Some made it. Others probably didn't, because I saw some people in chat and I didn't find your name in the MogMail inbox. So I'm sorry. So all the MogMail ended up in the spam MogMail. No, if only. If only. It's not even registered in the app itself. It's like, yeah, no, there's nothing. So I'm sorry about that. Just in the future, if you're going to send us MogMail, I'm sorry, you're going to have to bear through it. I've optimized it now. It's not that slow on my end now, but some people really struggled yesterday to get on the site. So I don't know. I'll investigate further. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, today's topics, I just did that. In the post-show, it's the premiere of Speakers of Hydaelyn. Secrets of a Realm.
Finally starting.
Secrets of a Realm, episode 7. We're watching Knights Round, and per request from some patrons from Patreon, they kind of want more, because we used to talk about the stuff that was covered in Secrets of a Realm after it was aired. We probably should do that now, especially because of some stuff that I found in that dungeon. there's some stuff in there. It's too bad we didn't do this last week because we actually talked about Gilmora then. But yeah, there's stuff we can talk about there. And in the lore section today, we're going to talk about Ul'dah. So stay tuned for.
I got my lore book back too. What's up?
Where was it? Where was it hiding?
Deep in a closet, dude.
Okay.
Way deep in a closet.
Okay, so here's some channel updates. So as I said, Secrets of a Realm. I just said that. That's premiering today. Roar bi-weekly now. If I keep doing it weekly, it's just gonna look like shit. So I need time.
Jesus crying.
I need time between. I say bi-weekly. It might. All I'm saying is it's gonna get a more fluid release schedule. Maximum 2 weeks, but it can still take a week. You'll get it. You'll get it. That's the important part. I just need more time to fact check. I'm having strokes deluxe today. I need time to fact check and like to find the topics I want to cover. Stuff like that takes time, especially now that I've more or less depleted everything. Like there's hardly anything left. There's like some areas in Kurthus, and I think there's some more in the Black Shroud. I don't think I've covered South Shroud yet, for instance. So, okay. So now, do you want to talk about what we've done in 14 this week, or has anything happened this week in our lives in 14?
You know what? This would be a good time to mention that we hung out during the Friday stream and we had a lot of fun just doing roulettes with people in the chat.
I had one tombstone on Friday.
He started the week with one tombstone. By Friday he only had one. If only
I'd started with one. Yeah, no, Friday, one tombstone. So we got that fixed.
How do you manage that?
No participation.
I think it was a hunt. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I probably have one tombstone as well.
You just barely did something in a hunt.
Okay.
But yeah, those are fun. So definitely come hang out with us on Friday if you guys want to see us do that, interact with the chat too.
Yeah.
I'm like this close to clearing Kefka, like about 1% away at this point.
Nice.
So that's gonna get. He's gonna die soon.
Good.
I'm gonna kill him.
Good. Okay. So let's get the quick news out of the way. There's maintenance announced for patch 4.25, March the 12th and 13th for North America, March the 13th for Europe. That's 6 a.m. GMT to 10 a.m. GMT for Europe and 11 p.m. PDT on the 12th to 3 a.m. PDT on the 13th for North America. After which Eureka has been released.
Oh my god.
But there's been some dramatic events unfolding in the 14 community this week. We talked about the Ungarmax exploit on the podcast last week, and I think like the day after, or maybe it was like the day after, or a couple of days after, the bans came out. And they were like the bans that you get for how long was it? Was it
9
days?
With the potential for it, basically it's reviewed afterwards and is quite likely to just become permanent.
Yes. And then we got an update from Square Enix themselves. Now, this is the same update that they release every time, like every week, I think, or every 2 weeks, where they basically show how many bots and RMTs they've banned. I don't think there are many bots in there, but whatever. Because I would imagine there are more bots than that. I think it's just like people involved in RMT. But it was more inflated than usual. The first report was over 3,000 accounts permanently banned.
That's rough.
That's like a full-size small server.
Yeah.
Of like all of the small servers, active players, basically. Like that's really rough.
Yeah.
Hey guys, after our recent ban wave, we can't financially keep the game running, so we're gonna have to close down a few servers.
Yeah.
But hey, there's hella houses free though. That's for sure.
Oh god, yeah, that's a good point.
True.
New houses, guys.
Yeah.
Take advantage.
And in comes the salty posts from people that have been banned, and they claim they didn't do like anything bad with the exploit.
Yeah.
There's one of them is my favorite. Can we talk about that one?
The spaghetti one?
The spaghetti one? It's so fucking
I
stupid.
mean, it was on Reddit, so as long as we don't say who it is, it's fine.
I'll just paraphrase it. I'll
Mhm.
paraphrase it. It
Mhm.
was like, guys, I didn't really do any, like, I used it, yeah. He wasn't denying that he used it. I'll give him credit for that. He was like, I used it.
Yeah.
But he's like, I didn't use it in any serious content.
Mhm.
Followed up with the next sentence being, all I used it for was just a few spaghetti runs in Ultimate Coil so I could get to nail and prog on nail.
Mhm.
Amazing, isn't it?
The thing is supposed to be the hardest content in the
Are
game.
you... What?
I only used it
on game raids, man.
I only used it there, guys.
Doing it in Ultimate is literally the worst place you could
Oh,
use it.
It's literally
Yeah.
the most obvious place to get banned
Yeah.
for using it.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Luckily he was like below. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get. Plus, he'd said he already got like a 24, or he'd already gotten a 9-day ban before,
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that. So it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that guy's long gone for
Mhm,
sure.
Yeah.
mhm.
But where does your brain get off the bus when it's like, hey, yeah, no real content, just Ultimate Twintania, no
Yeah.
big deal, NBD.
It's
It's pretty
like,
fucked up. Yeah.
It's fine. I
would've-
didn't use it on Bahamut, so it's not cheating. If I used it on Bahamut, I would understand the
It
complete.
was just on spaghetti run, so it's fine.
Yeah, he said
Yeah, it
spaghetti
was-
runs. So
It was just Twintania, just so I could get to nail. You know, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
If he had said that he used it in like Lab of the Agents or whatever, I'd be like, sure, maybe that's a bit. You don't deserve a permanent ban for that because it's already throwaway content.
Mm,
Wow.
But-
Rude.
Ultimate, like you think that's cool? Okay.
Honestly, I think using it in basically any content, if you would have otherwise lost, is stupid.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even if you went back and did Alexander and you couldn't beat Savage, but then you used it and suddenly beat Savage,
yeah.
you still don't deserve that win
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because you suck.
Yeah. We now the thing, I guess the side effect is that a lot of people are now scared. Like people that haven't used it in Ultimate are now afraid that they'll still get banned because they used it for lols, shits and giggles.
I highly doubt that if you're used it on a training dummy or some stupid thing like that, I
Mhm.
really doubt it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, they do
Um,
seem to be like digging in to see like
Right.
when and what it was for.
Yeah.
And the
I assume they'll
context
look
of
at your
them.
character. I assume they'll be like, you used it 40,000 times. Well, obviously you're going to get banned.
Yeah.
If it's like, well, I used it once.
Yeah.
In actual spaghetti content, not just Ultimate, it might be all right.
Oh,
Spaghetti
I
content.
think it was just the spaghetti thing I liked most
yeah,
of all.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Use it in like more than one sentence as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are we okay with the ban so far? Because so far we haven't. There are no reports of people that I would consider innocent. Because
Mhm.
yeah.
they
I'm
deserve to
really
make a
happy.
post on Reddit if that's the case.
I'm happy about it
Yeah.
because it shows that Square Enix are willing to lose out on a full server's worth of people
Yeah.
just to prove a
That's-
point.
Yeah.
Oof.
Gives me hope for them, banning other things.
Can I be honest? I have no hope for that.
No, probably not. But
No.
No, because they would have
they've
solved
done something at least.
the PvP bots. I think is the most pressing issue.
That's never. They're never doing anything
I mean,
about that.
I don't really.
Spell
ca-
speed hacks?
Yeah, that too. But there's the PvP bots make the game unplayable. If you want to play PvP in Frontline and you get a full 2 full alliances full of bots, the game's ruined.
Yeah.
You might as well
Mhm.
just leave. But I don't, because I don't care about the RMT bots anymore. That's just normal.
Me neither.
in an MMO
They
at
could
this
do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
To be
about
honest, I don't think the game would be as rich without them.
True.
I mean, they're pretty good about keeping on top of them. I'll
There's
say that.
always
You don't
crystals
see
on the
them.
market now. Hey, that's good. We get our shards. There's never there's always a supply now.
Shards for everyone.
Yeah, shards for everyone. The PvP bots they should do something about.
Yeah.
But they haven't done it yet.
There's nothing. They're not gonna fix that shit at all. Like, they don't even give you like a response when you report bots.
No.
No.
I remember I had like a 3-week long interaction with GMs because I was spamming Shatter. I don't know why I was doing. I think I was doing like a relic or something. I was like, all right, well, here's the 7 people in my party. All of them are bots. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
I go in the next night, and I'd gotten a reply from James. They're like, oh, sorry about that. We'll take care of it, whatever. I go in the next night. They're all there. They're all on my team again. I'm like, these are the exact same people. I send another thing to the GMs. They're like, yeah, we'll take care of it. It's like, and I got them once again the next night, like 3 nights in a row, the same bots. It's like, it's not a thing.
I mean, you should feel pretty lucky. What are the chances
to a degree, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this. It feels like they're less. There was a period where, and I don't do front lines a lot, but I would get bots like almost every single time. I feel like that's sort of not the case anymore. I feel like they're less, but they're still there. They're still like every other time I do it, there's like a team that's obviously bots.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's less now. Maybe they are doing stuff behind the scenes. Something has changed, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like they should. That's their next issue in my eyes. I don't care about the other bots.
Someday.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Yeah. Okay, so we got an update on the development blog about the feast. More specifically, PvP rewards. Sorry, no, not the feast. No, wait. The feast rewards. No, the feast season 7 reward. There we go.
There you go.
There you go.
I did it. It's a mount. And it's not just any old...
It's not the first mount, though.
What? The first mount?
It's not the first mount they've ever had in the feast.
No, it's not. It's what was the first one?
Hellhound. Can you still get that?
Don't think so.
No.
And
like, how does
probably
that
with this one,
That's fucking stupid.
Well, you got it at the time, or you'll never get it, mate. That's
so
it.
if you haven't seen it, it's basically the mount from the scientist in Alamigo. This is actually a picture of that boss in the room. You can even see the divider behind him.
It's like they haven't even made the mount.
No,
we're gonna make it. It's gonna be.
This is what we want it to be roughly like.
Yeah. So this is top 100. If you rank top 100, this mount can be yours. I don't know if that's top 100 per data center server or just in do they have like rankings for like everything ever?
I think it's usually per data center or server.
Probably,
yeah. It's one of them. I don't know.
Do you think they should make a way of earning these retroactively later on? For example, you earn tokens for each however high you rank, and then eventually you can...
but here's the thing. I agree with you, Mela, 100%, because the tokens you get can only be exchanged for weapons right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's really dumb personally, because if I would do PvP, if I knew I could just by participating, getting bronze or whatever, I'd get a few tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would actually be willing to do that. And just maybe not take PvP seriously, but actually do it enough to get some tokens. If I could go back and get mounts. Personally, I don't give 2 shits about weapons, so I'm not going to go do it for weapons. But if you throw mounts in there,
yeah.
Same thing for me. I would have did it for the season 6. For that, the armor was pretty cool. I thought it looked nice.
I think it's the same armor.
Is it the same? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the same gear. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll still get the wolf colors. Of course, you get a trophy if you're. Is that number 1? That's number 1 data center, right?
Per data center. So I've never seen one in game. Have you?
Me neither. No.
Well, I mean, I guess you have to look for it in people's houses.
We would have to know.
What if you win and you don't have a house?
Oh my god!
Come and see my apartment.
Yeah, come in my apartment. Look at my thing.
No.
Look at all my trophies.
Only thing he has in the room is that one trophy.
Oh no! It's not even big.
On the
That's
floor.
the sad part. It's not even big.
What if you put it in like your free company house and they get kicked?
Yeah, but your furniture. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I guess you could.
That's dark. I don't want to think about that. Don't do that. If you win, don't do that. Unless you're like the owner of the FC, don't do that.
Oh no!
I'm pretty sure if you contacted a GM, they would let you get it back.
I'm pretty sure they would get you another
That's
one.
They stole my trophy.
Win and then get the Ungarmax ban.
Oh, fuck
Oh no!
I love it.
There's yeah.
You guys are sick. You guys are sick people.
Sick, twisted people. So yeah, are anyone gonna try to get that mount?
You know what? I'll say the same thing I always say. Sure, yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
then I'll click queue once, and it'll say 40 minutes, and I'll be like, no, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
So like that's always what it boils down to, right?
We got a
I'm
PvP
just gonna
team,
win
though,
trade
We
guys.
have
way to
the
victory.
Gobu
We can
Gobblers.
try.
The Gobu Gobblers.
It's not on Aether, so I'm not gonna be there.
That's fine. We have.
All right, let's
Adam.
kick Yas from
We have
him.
Adam.
I'm your coach.
You're our coach.
We'll
that's
replace
true.
him with like a top tier PvP player, and you can get carried.
Yes.
That's me.
Did you see? We did a when did we do the PvP thing? Was that like a couple of weeks ago?
It was like
Couple
2
weeks ago.
Fridays.
we were
ago.
coupled with like one of the best PvP teams on Ragnarok.
Yeah.
They're
Instantly
platinum.
destroyed.
Nice
It's
matchmaking.
probably because they're the only people that are
Yeah.
doing it. They're
Yeah.
probably like, there's 2 teams. Well, they have to play each other. One's unranked and one's platinum. But sure, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got pretty
Uh,
owned.
We did pretty good, didn't we?
Did we do pretty good, Mela?
We didn't kill a single one of them.
No.
exactly.
We-
We didn't.
Oh, God,
and we
that
got
was
4 deaths, so it was just like, well, I guess that's the maximum, and they got all.
Is it
the
like a
medals.
10-second match or what?
We did. we stayed
we
alive
got-
for a while. I'd say
Yeah.
maybe a minute. Maybe a
Which is
minute.
pretty good, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
We
Are you
did it,
healing?
guys.
I
Are you
was
healing, Lucio?
I was healing, and
He-
the thing is, we did.
Well, he was a
dude,
healer.
I've
He was not healing.
we have that.
seen
We
you
have that
heal.
recorded, so you know I did fucking great. I kept Adam alive
Oh,
until the very end. But Maela, isn't it weird that you didn't manage to kill the healer even though we focused him down? Isn't
It
that
was
weird?
annoying.
Should
It's not.
one would think the DPS was bad. One would think. One would think you
it's
didn't
I would
do.
think healers are OP.
Oh, yeah,
One-
yeah.
yeah,
Mela?
mhm.
Good at DPS. Best DPS I ever
So,
met. Nothing, dude.
mhm,
Nothing.
Anyways,
Anyway, Rollo was also DPS.
Irola was also DPS, but I.
I'm just triggered because you called me a bad black mage the other day. So
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha, I forgot about that.
Yeah, still salty about that.
Sorry about that, man.
I kept him alive until he died. That's my motto. I kept him alive until he died.
That's like the Hippocratic Oath, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
you gotta
pretty
take
much.
that oath when you're a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him alive until he dies.
More like the hypocrite oath.
Okay, we need to move on.
Hippocratic Oath.
We need to move on. Believe it or not, we've already come to minimum eye level because the next 2 points on the podcast are going to take a long time. So we're already at minimum eye level. Now I'm gonna have to again warn you about what you're about to see because I'm regretting this already. I've done some things in this video. Oh, okay. It might not come out on the YouTube version. I'll just say that. It's funny, but I don't.
Oh no.
I think
no.
we might be looking at demonetization.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh,
We did minimum eye level of Stone Vigil. I don't think I need to say anything. Maybe we should. Yeah, let's do the pre video discussion. How did you feel like? How did you? I can't remember it either. But how did you?
I can't either. What did we do?
I remember one thing about Stone Vigil, and it was easy. So easy, in fact, we
It was
questioned
easy.
whether or not we had entered with minimum eye level.
I remember Bad Tank.
You always remember bad tank and bad healer,
Yeah,
and that you were great at DPS, and
when that
Rollo doesn't know how to do his rotations. We know, Mila. We've heard it before.
Yeah. You kept letting everyone die. And
Okay.
to be honest, all I can remember was us like trying to just fill time in
Yeah.
random rooms.
Yeah.
That's all I remember because everything died so fast.
Oh yeah, Poke Blue Keel was last week. Remember, we're 2 weeks behind, which is
Oh, God,
not
yeah, we did
working in
default.
our favor because now we forget what we did. Makes it more
Yeah,
enjoyable
Revolt
to
was a
watch
good
though
run.
because it's not as fresh in our it's like
yeah, absolutely.
happened.
I'm like, oh right, that happened. That's hilarious.
I'll have a little giggle in the background. It'll be fun.
yeah. So Stone Vigil is minimum eye level sync to level 41. And that was a Realm Reborn dungeon, obviously, because it was a 41 dungeon.
And we
That
were
was a
level
good
41. That was a
We were.
fact.
Okay, here we go. Minimum eye level, the Stone Vigil. Enjoy. Welcome back.
I didn't remember any of that. To be fair,
I hardly remembered any of that either.
love the porno.
That was the best out of context thing I've ever heard in my life, I think. It was
That
like
is
a
a
porno.
difficult.
You said it's so like Oh man.
Just like, yeah, we should make a porno.
Let's not repeat that anymore.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. That's.
Sorry about the hentai jokes.
Sorry about that. Sorry about.
Whatever.
Sorry.
Sorry about the
That was
anime.
a 10 out of 10 animation.
Okay. Relics. That's our great discussion topic. With Eureka right around the corner, it's only appropriate to talk about Relics in 14. I think we have some strong opinions on the current system. With current, we mean, it doesn't matter which tier we're talking about because they're all the same. Yeah, I said it.
Tug Live.
Thank you. There should be a voice there. It's not there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Relics. So let's talk about the Relic system in 14 because with Eureka, that's the latter part of the discussion, but there might be some changes to the Relic system. But let's talk about how we feel about the Relic in its current form. I did say that it's all the same. We should probably isolate Realm Reborn, the Relic Reborn one, because it was different. Mainly because it was a 1.0 leftover and it kind of had some uniqueness to it.
So what you're saying is that the Heavenswood one is the same, but the Realm Reborn one is different?
No, I'm talking about... No. The vanilla one. The vanilla Relic
just
Reborn.
The
first part of... Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Because when it came out, it was best in slot. It was...
That was the next step, the second step.
Yes, that was... Well, didn't the second step just come like shortly after?
Yeah, it was like right away.
Yeah. The Zenith weapon.
Zenith was best,
which was basically just buying an item for whatever tombstone was at the time. I remember. Mythic.
You just had to buy the. I think it was mythology. Yeah. And you just had to buy like the materia melded weapon.
Yeah. No, that was the Realm Reborn, wasn't it? No, God, that was the first step. The first step was like the whole.
But didn't the second step come out like just like a couple weeks after?
I almost feel like it came with.
Or was it 2.1?
Did it come with a realm? It's been so long; it's just all mixed. It
had to have been a Realm Reborn because people were doing coil with that.
Yeah, sorry, I keep saying a Realm Reborn. I mean vanilla, like 2.0.
Yeah. No, that would have had to have been within 2.0 because people were doing coil with it, and it was the best weapon for coil. Remember?
But coil
so it would have to be.
Came out in 2.05.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, or 2.25. I don't know. 2.025.
Yeah.
So that quest line was because it was different because you had to do first of all you had to find the weapon. Remember that? We had to go like look for the pieces, I guess.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, you had to look for the recipe. That was it. You had to find the recipe. And if it was a stripped down version of the 1.0 quest because there were certain things I couldn't.
And you got remember like the really shitty looking version of it?
Yeah, the
unfinished. Had like no stats on it. Yeah, the unfinished. That's it was unfinished, right? Yeah, it was hilarious. Cool.
You had to complete trials, and with the thing equipped, and then came the Zenith step, which was very easy. You just had to get the tombstones and buy 3. What was it? Rads at hand. Thavnarian Mist. Yes. That sounds
right?
correct. Yes.
Sounds right.
Yes.
Sounds right.
And then, so that's that relic. None of the others were like that because after that, it was more like a grind.
That's when they switched to Atma weapons and things became a grind. Yeah.
Yes, and also that was also the end of the relic as best in slot because starting with Atma, the weapon would always be behind the raid weapons.
And Atma was trash. Like Atma didn't even go up item level, remember? Or was it Atma? Yeah. One of them didn't jump item levels. It was really strange.
I think it was Atma because Atma didn't even get a glow. Atma, right? Like it removed your Zenith glow and it wasn't a higher eye level. It was a proper punch and it wasn't best in slot. So that's where it was garbage. That's when the relic really got the big punch because it had been this great weapon, purple weapon in slot. It was like, oh my God, it's amazing. And then it's just crap.
To be fair, I think it's best that they didn't make it best in slot anymore.
Well, let's talk about that. You know what? Let's talk about it now. Let's get that over with. let's look at other MMOs, because mentioning Atma, everything else was just going to follow the Atma recipe from then on. The Zodiac weapon would do the same thing. They would just call it something else with the crystals. And though you could argue the books were kind of unique, I guess. The books for
they were very unique, actually.
Alexandrite
I totally
thing, yeah.
They were very unique.
But should a relic in 14? Where does the relic fit in 14? What is its purpose?
I mean, I think it's very simple. It's just a weapon that is grind heavy for people who want something special that they can work on, but they don't want to actually, nail down and do the hardest content in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of where it fits. It fits for people who, I've mentioned this before in an old show where there's different degrees of hardcore and casual, right? You could be a hardcore casual, meaning you play a lot, but you don't do hardcore content, but you put in a hardcore amount of time.
Yeah.
I think the relic is designed for those specific people, is for hardcore casuals, people who are playing the game constantly, but they don't want to do extreme primals or raids or anything like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that's the majority of the demographic of this game.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's content for the majority.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is, which is weird, which is why it's weird we haven't gotten the relic until now.
Right. That's sort of a mistake.
Yeah. What do you think, Mala? Well, how do you feel like a relic should be? Do you agree with Yas?
To be honest, it's difficult. I mean, it's the sort of discussion of skill versus length of time required.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you are an amazing player and you're quite lucky as well, then on week 1 you've got best in slot weapon for like 6 months. How long's the patch cycle for the new item? Like 6 months.
6 months.
So you've got it for half a year and you're sorted, and that's just you're good at the game.
Yeah.
Whereas a relic will take weeks and weeks and weeks to grind up, and you'll finally get it, and you'll be 10 levels behind.
Yeah.
Well, let's also remember that usually relics are best in slot for odd number patches.
Yeah, that's
we do need to address that at least, because like the relic is not going to be better than the I don't even remember the names of the weapons for Sigma now.
Diamond?
Just call them raid weapons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're diamond weapons. You're right. Yeah, diamond weapons.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the other name, the tombstone weapon name. I don't know that. Yeah, so
They've got
diamond weapon.
ones.
They're not going to be better than a diamond weapon this patch, but I would not be surprised if the next patch they're 380 instead of 375 or something like
but
that.
with
Right?
better stats.
Or they'll be 375 with stats that you can choose, which then are obviously better. It's going to be best in slot no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 10 out of 10 on that. But
yes.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, if you're really going to get the weapon, it's like kind of the relic is good to do if you like want to do ultimate or something like that. I do think it helps you in a lot of ways still to do it, because you're going to be able to like pick and choose your stats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's relics are hard. You see, the thing that's always irked me the wrong way with 14's relic is the fact that you spend so much time on the relics. Like I remember the one that is it the beginning of the Zodiac weapon, I think, where you unlock the NPC for the next step. Remember we had to buy all those crafting materials, like 4 of each item.
Yeah.
I remember I could see at some point I could finally see the vendor, but I was still not on that step, I think. But I could see people like gathering there, and I was like, I'm so far behind. It's gonna take fucking forever. And then I finally get to the step, new patch, new step.
Yeah.
The weapon that you worked so hard on is irrelevant. You can't even use, like, people would probably look at you funny if you used it in a dungeon. It's like,
For sure.
that's my main issue with a relic. Like, we've talked about 11 before. Like, if you got the equivalents to relics in 11, you were fucking set. Now, I know, different game, different system, completely, you cannot compare the two, but I'm doing it anyway. Because in other games, relics are, well, they're relics. In 14, they're like throwaway content that you spend, like, you waste time. I'm being very harsh on the. If you couldn't tell already, I don't really like the relics in 14. Although I did get one, I did get all of the old ones. But it's, I don't know. I feel like I don't know how they would change it though. because you can't right now. We have raids, and you don't want the relic to be. The balance would be off if you could get a better weapon than the raid tier weapons.
And I don't think it should ever be that way.
It's
At the same
all I have to
time,
say is the
though-
market is changing. Like the raid scene is for hardcore. We can't deny that hardcore players have to do that. That's what the raids are for, right?
Yeah.
And the market is getting more and more casual. To the point where people are more content playing Candy Crush than
I kind of disagree.
How do you disagree?
From me watching the raid scene, I've seen a lot more people raiding this time than Alexander. Oh, there's a lot more people raiding now.
But Alexander you can't use Alexander as a measure because we lost a lot of people to Alexander because
yeah, but of course you can use that as an example. I would say there's still more people doing Sigma than there are people that did Coil. That finished all the way to the 13 turn 13.
I don't know. I'd like to see some figures.
I would too, but just judging by how much pugging is going on in the PF, at least on Aether, there's so much pugging going on.
Yeah, of course, people pug,
and then all this, but people were not pugging. Is my point?
Yeah,
people were not pugging. So I kind of disagree. I think I'm not. That's not me saying the relics are going to be any more useful or useless, because I think they're going to fill the exact same void. But I do think that there's still a lot of people that are going to have raid weapons, and it's
as chat is pointing out, people are doing the normal raids. That's why they made them in the first place. The normal raids to cater for the casuals.
Talking about normal raids. Yeah, obviously not talking about.
Yeah, but still, if you remember Coil, there was no normal mode. You had to do the savage ones. That's probably, I would assume there were more people doing Coil because of that. That was the only tier. That was the only way you could get anything from Bahamut, or the storyline, which was amazing. Yeah.
Do you want to know my point against that, though? Is that Coil was way more restrictive. A lot of people missed turns 1 to 5 because they weren't playing the game yet, and you had to do 1 to 5 first in order to do 6 to 9. So there's a lot less people made it farther into the raid tier because it had to be done in order, which I know sounds strange, but people like doing current content. All the good raiders aren't like, you're not going to ask my static to be like, hey, can you carry me through Deltascape? I want to be like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
If they had to go through Deltascape, well, then they're probably not going to, it's going to be very hard for them to get through Deltascape. You know what I mean?
You're saying now that there were more people playing in patch 2.2 than 2.0 when the game launched. Remember all that hype around that game, and Coil being like the big draw-in. I think
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. That's besides the point. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the relic. Good discussion for another time, though. The relic. So when Eureka comes out, do you think they'll change any of you? Like, do you feel like it's just Yas and I talking right now? Do you guys think what's your dream relic? Let's start with that. Rollo.
I should say this. I absolutely despise relics.
Nice.
I don't think they're bad. But I personally hate doing them. And like, I did parts of the first relic from Realm Reborn, and I got to light shit. I'm like, fuck this. This is so boring, and I could be doing better things with my time, like actually trying to raid and get like better things. And same thing with like a Heaven Sword too. It was just like, it's boring, and I don't want to do it, and I'd rather do harder content. But that's just me personally. I don't think it's bad. But I'm hoping that with Eureka, like the way you get relics are more engaging. Because Eureka looks really engaging. I think there's a lot of stuff to it. I don't want to just rerun a bunch of dungeons with a shitty weapon to upgrade it, and then end up with a slightly worse weapon for raiding.
Yeah,
that's just me personally too. Like, people like Relic, that's totally cool. I don't like them. I don't finish them for a reason.
Yeah, you talked about harder. You want to do harder content. I want to defend the first relic again, because then that actually forced you to do the hardest primals in the game, the trials.
Very true.
And I remember Titan,
Titan hard mode was not easy.
No. And if you couldn't get through him, sorry, no relic. So if they I was always hoping that they would do that again. Like, they would lock it behind an extreme primal or 3, like the 3.
Well, those were hard.
Yeah,
Those weren't even
that was hard
extremes.
mode. We didn't have extreme back then.
But do you think that is less to do with the difficulty of the content and more of like the shittiness of the game at the time? Because it wasn't hard content.
Yeah.
It was the game was hard to play.
Yeah, there was some
So I don't
lag.
I don't know if that was necessarily intentional that they wanted to put the relic behind this super hard content, because I don't really think it was intended to be super hard.
Well,
it's just
Well, I mean, technically, it was the hardest trials at the time, though, and they were
it
optional.
undoubtedly was.
They
yeah.
were optional, so they forced sort of
Mhm.
casual players who were there for the relic to do hard content.
harder content.
Harder, yeah. Oh, and yeah. Myla, what's your dream relic?
You've sort of touched on what I would consider the dream relic, is that it is locked behind savage and extreme content,
Mhm.
and therefore it is the best.
Yeah,
Would that make you do Savage?
yeah.
Like, yeah, if I'm going to get a really cool looking, shiny, glowing weapon and also get to experience savage content, I'm more likely to do it than
And-
if it's just going to be, I can get it without going to savage content. And what is 10 item levels, really?
Right. And
It's 5.
Yeah.
what if it's
so little, isn't it?
yeah,
It's
and
such a
I
little-
I agree with Myla. Myla and I are on, like, we agree on this. It would be nice if say it was locked behind the last I keep saying turns. What do we call
You
it now?
would want to put it behind 4 and 8?
yeah.
Wow.
And then force you to do that, and then have a chance of it a piece dropping for the
Oh
relic.
God, no,
Oh,
dude.
no.
Absolutely not.
That's-
Are you mental?
Make it happen, dude.
That is
I
too
raid.
cool.
Yoshi
I
P.
raid and I don't want that. So I'm in like this really
But
weird
you
spot
would do it,
because
wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would do it, and the raid scene would grow just for that. Even the raiders would want the relic piece because it's higher in level.
right, because making things rare makes people do it more. Books worked so well. Let's wait 5 hours on a fate just for like a like
People did it. I have.
It does. Okay, Lukiel, it didn't make more people do it though, because
No, but
something
books
is rare. Doesn't
books were bullshit. Kill
Right.
100 enemies of
Okay,
this type. That
okay.
was fucked up.
Okay,
I still
how
hate
about
it to this
then?
day.
How about this? When people need tomes, what do? Does that make them do content, or does that make them spam the same easiest thing over and over again?
It makes
Like,
them
that's
spam
not how
the same
resistance-
thing over and over again.
Right, that's not how the human nature doesn't work. Like, I'm gonna just jump into like the hardest content and try
No,
my
but it
hardest
would-
to get
it
this
would-
thing. It's not gonna make more
what-
people do it.
What you're saying is the people were afraid of Titan when A Realm Reborn came out, but I was terrified.
Sure.
I didn't want to do it, but I
Mhm.
had to force myself because I wanted the relic. People
Okay.
would do that with Savage. Savage doesn't. You don't die doing Savage. You can try.
Okay, and how many people try extremes for better weapons or cool looking weapons?
But you don't need them.
Yeah, but they're better.
Yeah, but they
don't
don't
need
have
a relic
shiny
either.
glow. They don't have anything. They're not purple.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's
the
true.
primal weapons that you want are the crafted ones.
Yeah. For
Okay,
glam.
How about,
Yeah.
how about this? What if, for upgrading your weapon, you could do it through like normal content through Eureka or dungeons or whatever, however they plan to do it, and they'll give you. Oh, thanks for subbing, link.
Mhm.
Yes, man.
So like for normal content, you'll get 2 bits or pieces or whatever. But through raiding, you'd get 2 times the amount, and the weapon would be better
Mm.
than the raid
Okay.
weapons. Because
Okay.
so that would incentivize you to raid to get things faster, and raiders as well to do it. But also casually people can enjoy it as well. They just get it at a later time, but it's not as relevant.
But do you think that in itself would invalidate raid weapons? Like they wouldn't need to add a raid weapon for that tier, basically.
Well,
right? Which would be fine.
if
Which
it-
would be fine. I
yeah,
have nothing
sure.
against.
But if
Um,
it was a random drop, you wouldn't. You would still want the raid weapon because
Well,
it would make
so-
it easier to repeat, right?
But raid weapons are random drops also.
Yeah, but still,
Like
like
you don't get like it's not guaranteed you're gonna get a paladin.
well,
drop or
obviously,
anything like
but
that, right?
still, it's keep the raid weapons the same. Because I don't know what the drop rate would be. We're talking like a low drop rate here.
0.01%.
I don't think I don't.
I
Like, I
wouldn't
just
want that.
No,
like,
I'm
I
kidding.
just-
I'm kidding. That was a
I was
joke.
gonna
I
say,
don't.
I
I'm
think
not.
we've done enough rating to be like.
Let's
even
use
if it's a
let's
1%
use the
drop rate.
Atma percentage, right? The original
Have you
Atma
done-
drop rate.
Lukiel, have you done any final tier of any savage
Coil. Oh, I did coil.
100 times?
No.
Look, yes. What
Why
you
does
want
that matter?
is luminous crystals of Kafka.
Because even if it's a 5-10% chance for 8 people, you know how many times you're gonna have to do that
Yeah.
to get everyone their weapon? No one is going to enjoy that. No raider. The people who enjoy raiding, such as myself, I would never want to do Neo like 50 times, 60 times. I never want to do that.
And then especially
That
if you're
would
doing it
ruin
like as a
raiding for
farm
me.
party and it changes every single time between different people.
Exactly. That would
But-
absolutely ruin raiding for me.
Yeah, but then the relic isn't for you.
Well, then who's it for? People who don't raid?
People who don't
That
raid,
makes no
who just
sense.
love grinding. Grinding.
I love grinding. I
and
did
hate
6 relic
themselves.
weapons to
Yeah.
fucking Lux, dude.
We're talking about like 2 different things here. So if you're raiding, you
I
can
know,
still
but-
get the item that gives you a more powerful weapon than the
That's
raiding
just-
weapon. But you're okay, hold on. You say that the best weapon should be locked behind the hardest content. So if we are to up the eye level on the relic, surely it has to be locked behind a harder gate.
Why don't? Yeah.
So that's the only solution to that.
But I don't know. I think that completely defeats the purpose of the entire weapon.
I'm not saying it's going to be a low drop. That was a joke that no one got.
I know,
it was
I know,
an
I know.
Atma joke. But
I know you were yeah.
yeah, let's say an item dropped every time. But only one.
I mean, sure, but
Yeah.
then again, it's the exact same as the raid weapon. That makes no difference.
Yeah, okay, then drop the raid weapon. Give us a relic.
If
instead.
you're gonna drop the raid weapon, sure, but then the entire point of the relic is to fill the casual void, and that's not filled anymore. So I mean, there's like
Yeah.
the solution I see is Rolos, which does make sense to me that if you raided, you could get it faster. But I still do see that as like a big invalidation of raid weapons in general.
I mean, I think at that point it might just be able to if they did something like that, just remove raid weapons and
I
then just have
would agree. Yeah.
and just have
Just
like
let it
the
get
design be a
faster.
purple. So people are happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. It's I'm in a really strange spot, especially for this relic, because I had gotten raid weapons before, but I would always get them after I would normally have the relic, right?
Mhm.
And I also might actually have my relic first this time as well, depending on how long Godkefu takes. But I'm doing both ways at the same time, like for the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested. I will update you guys in a few weeks on if I felt the grind was less worth it or more worth it, because I'm yet to find out myself how I'm going to react to it. Am I going to find, like, I do lots of relics. Am I going to find that same desire to do lots of relics when I could just go clear Sigma for the week and get a warrior axe, or clear, Sigma for the next week and get a black mage staff? Like, am I going to find it as worth it?
Mhm.
I'm curious.
Mhm.
I'm genuinely interested to find out.
Yeah.
If the black mage staff drops, I'd recommend passing.
Yeah.
Is it bad? What is it? What is it like?
You get
is
the
it really
joke.
bad?
Yes, you get the joke.
I know, I get it. I'm just a great black mage, okay?
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, I think the thing is most people just want the glamour that the relic provides. Nowadays, I don't think it's that much about like the power of it anymore. I think 14. If we're going to keep the raid scene alive, gonna have to not have the relic be as good. And,
No.
It'll just have to look good.
We've talked about the relic weapon, but let's talk about relic armor,
Okay.
Yeah, because that's
because
another part
that's
of it now.
a new thing now. It's done,
Mhm.
potentially.
Yeah.
So, obviously the main question is it going to be purple? Because it better be purple.
course.
It better be
of course.
purple, and it's probably
can't
because
wait to
already
have
the
some purple.
antiquated gear is blue, and I'm assuming it's just going to turn
Yeah.
blue
Oh,
or
God, I hope it's
purple.
purple.
Do you think it's going to have more materia slots than?
That's a good way
It's
of
gonna
doing
have
it.
It's gonna have none.
It's probably
Or
not going to
are
have.
you going to be
any.
able to like choose the stats on it?
I think
Yeah.
that
It's gonna have.
it's going to be like the sand, the crystal sand thing or
Is it?
whatever.
That would be cool.
Or wait, that's part of the discussion here. How do you think any of this is going to work? Like, is this happening in Eureka? All of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yes.
everything. We know one thing that we need some sort of catalyst, which I'm assuming is going to drop from mobs. Do you think there's going to be
Yeah.
specific monsters we have to kill, like notorious monsters? Specific ones?
I assume it's gonna be like getting like the elemental sand or whatever
Yeah.
from certain mobs. I would assume so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Maybe-
Luminous crystals.
Maybe they're going to bring
Wow.
back leave quests and make it relevant. We're like,
Oh.
you get leave quests, and they say, "Hey,
You're
go to this
optimistic.
area, kill this, and then here's your reward when you come back."
They're just gonna make you do a couple guild tests
Yeah.
in the middle of like
That's not
I
actually
mean,
a bad
hey,
idea though, Rollo, because it could be like every
actually
day
is a
there's like
decent idea.
random quests that you have to complete the objectives of each day, and that's how you do it. That's actually quite a good idea.
Mm.
Yeah, like you
I
get
like
a few
that.
quests every day. You share them. You can share them with your friends or whatever, or whoever's in your party. And then have a good old time.
Yeah.
That's actually.
Hey, I've always talked about like bringing leaves back because it is leaves they have potential, but they've just pissed all over them. They've made them this joke. Yeah,
They just make them for crafting. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
for
for
crafting they're
crafting
great, but they're also like four leaves per level, and it's like, oh wow, great selection, guys. 4 leaves.
There's actually only 3.
Yeah, 3. Sorry, yeah.
There's only 3.
Sad. So yeah, that would be cool. I don't think they're going to put leaves in there. I didn't see a leave meet on that island. Or that
idea.
story.
It may be something like it, I think. Like, it might be like, oh, here's a job board. Go pick up your quest and go out there.
Mm-hmm. Like a hunt, like a 12
bounties.
hunt board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Bring back behests. Looking for group behest. There's a behest.
Chocobo escort, please.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. Like a chocobo escort from one camp to the other. Make that happen.
Oh god, yeah.
When you say something ironically, and Lukeel's like, "Yes, I'm all about it."
Don't talk about 1.0 shit because you get me fired up. So
what about defense camps or whatever?
Actually, I was gonna say that
Hamlet.
camp's looking a lot like a Hamlet, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, bring that back.
That could be something. I'd be down. Maybe.
That's like the one thing that a lot of people in the community actually want back: the Hamlet defense. I keep seeing that pop up.
Well,
in
I wouldn't
threads.
say a lot of people.
Enough that I keep seeing it popping up on Reddit. Like Hamlet defense is cool. It's like, okay.
I mean,
a concept.
Probably watched Fallen Rise, but hey.
Do you think that's people just hearing about it and not actually knowing what it was? Like the the details, and then they'd be like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. But it would be cool. What were we talking about? How it's so we know these things. It's going to be some grind, maybe some specific monsters we have to kill. I'm in favor of that though, like specific notorious monsters that only spawn under certain conditions. That's cool. That's good.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
that sounds fun.
I just want to be engaging.
Yeah. But let's again talk about the armor. Do you think I'm assuming the armor is going to be the same eye level as the weapon?
I would assume so.
Yeah, it'd have to
that
be.
Makes sense.
Do you think we'll ever
actually?
Actually, that's a good question.
Is it? Because if it is, then that's the best weapon. That's the best armor in the game. That's best in slot.
Would
I doubt it then?
Oh well,
no, go on. Let's be optimistic.
Let's just pretend. Like, okay, so
my guess then. Okay, you know what? Actually, yes, it will be the same item level because the relic is going to be 5 levels lower than the raid weapon, which will make all of the relic armor on the exact same tier as raid and upgraded tome gear. So that actually does make perfect sense. Which is crazy. That actually that's a very interesting point because that means we have 3 sets of gear to choose between for best in slot. Which means that our stats are going to be glorious, dude. I'm going to have so much fucking crit, dude.
And with the armor gear, you could probably like choose your stats if we're going to go down that route.
Yeah.
I would assume not for the first couple steps, just like the weapon. But eventually, probably, I would assume so, yeah. Which sounds very strange to me because I'm just thinking here myself, okay, if I could avoid skill speed entirely, I would.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm going to go back down to a fucking 2.5 GCD because I avoid all crit or all spell speed completely? Or like if you avoided all crit, you just don't crit anymore ever?
Yeah.
Like you have that base crit percentage?
Yeah.
But why not,
Interesting stat choices.
Sure, why not? I mean, if some
it would be the first time in the game they've given us like a choice.
It'd be fun to experiment with. And I think for data hounds, it'd be fun to kind of learn more about how stats work in this game because they're still really fucking confusing.
Yeah.
If I can get better best in slot, hey, I got
but
no tenacity, no skill speed. Hey,
do you think it's going to be like where we upgrade the weapon and the armor at the same time? Like,
I sort of hope so.
I would assume.
Well, it's
or is it going to be drawn out where each piece in every weapon's going to be done? Like,
I would assume at least that the relic, the weapon, and the armor itself would be separate. I think that would make sense.
Yeah, because think about how weird it would be if you wanted to work on like another weapon, but you have to do all the armor first too, or something like that, right?
So,
I would go stop.
Yeah, and is Geralt gonna make that? Is he gonna use his hammer on your robe?
No, the fashionista dude from the Gold Saucer. You're going to have to go all the way to him.
Yeah,
Redland Rose.
Redland Rose. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
Masked
okay,
Rose. Please use
Yeah,
his.
it's totally a different person.
It's not the
They're
same
not the
person.
same person.
I can't stand him.
Okay. Fair enough.
He's very rude to me.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I don't know what I would prefer because me personally, I'm not even after the armor. Like I
Not
was
even
just
for the
strange 'cause
glamour.
No, not really, because
you don't.
I don't.
You
Yeah,
like the
I mean,
paladin one.
I didn't like the
We've
paladin
seen your
stuff.
glamours though.
Well, I mean, you haven't seen my actual glamours, so let's check.
That is your canon speaker's
Yeah.
glamour. So just that's the glamour.
I mean, to be fair, that is a glamour plate on my main, so I'll.
yeah.
Oh my
There you go.
god.
But yeah, I'm actually not after the armor. I mean, maybe if the stats are really good, I'll have a read after it. But me personally, yeah, I don't really care too much about the armor, so I would rather just be able to do the weapons and move on to the next weapon. Me personally,
Mm.
I
do the
I
armor quest line once or something.
dude, I need the armor. I do hope they add an achievement this time for getting all the relics.
Do you like the white mage relic enough
me too.
to have that as your glam? Or artifact gear, I guess?
Yeah, it has some weird butterflies on it, I think. The
It's
base
kinda nice.
one.
The staff.
yeah,
Okay, weapon.
The
I like it.
I like it, all of it. I can't use it because my glamour is locked. But it's I like but I can change the staff, so I can have the relic as my weapon. But one thing I'm wondering about is what we saw two pictures of two different colors on the armor, but we also kind of noticed that the glow seemed to be different on the two pictures. What do you think? Was that a real thing, or was it just the angle of the photo? Like,
I have one hope,
what?
and I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but this is just what I think would be the coolest thing ever. Is that depending on how you've spec'd, whichever elemental wheel you're spec'd to at the moment, will change the color of your glow to the respective element.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And when you leave, you have to keep whatever you had on last, or whatever you spec your weapon to at before tip. So you could just change the color of your relic kind of ad nauseum.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be fucking cool. Don't listen to me. That I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. Probably not the. I just feel like that would be really cool.
Yeah. Are you disappointed that there's no glow on the armor?
No, I think that's too much.
I don't know, man. I think
If they could
we've only
do
had
it,
the augmented gear with glows, and
that one. Well,
Looks-
I don't know.
they can do better than that. They
Yeah.
can.
Here's a question though. Where do you think the 11 armor fits in? Is it gonna like transform into
Oh, yeah.
like the gear from 11 at a different stage, or
I almost think that those are just glamour drops that exist within Eureka.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they felt the need at least to give Eureka some secondary purposes.
Yeah.
okay?
I have a feeling that there's stuff in there that you can do that are not related to relics, just in case you want to spend time in there. I don't know if it'll be grinding tomes, or I have no idea what it will, but maybe there's gear to collect there just for glamour purposes. Kind of like D&M, where there was other things you could get besides that.
Yeah.
I know I just said that, but
minions
like
and stuff.
right, exactly, like stuff that was not related to actually.
Yeah.
Like the
same
Sky
purpose.
Pirate stuff, I guess. You can
Yeah.
just-
Sure, yeah. And like the hunting hawk and stuff like that, as Mela said.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question though:
Uh-huh.
the relic gear, or not the relic gear, but the class gear we've got. What's it called? Artifact gear now. Whatever.
Yeah, artifact.
The artifact gear we've got is like 310.
Yes.
300, 290,
290.
290. Okay,
290.
290. Now, normally when you do relics, you have to have it equipped to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have to go back to 290 in
Well,
Eureka?
it won't matter because in Eureka,
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
matter.
independent leveling.
Yeah.
But do you think
Doesn't-
we'll have to go back and equip that? And then every time you want to go into Eureka, you have to change to your old gear set.
Oh, that's.
And then when you
good.
come out, you're going to have to jump back to it. Or
You can change.
Probably.
What do you mean? Go back?
I think he's saying more like for light farming or something like that. You need to have it equipped.
yeah,
Oh,
so you've
like
got to
that.
have the
So-
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah. I would assume so, but in Eureka that doesn't matter
It
because
might not match in Eureka, but when you're going in, you're going to have to swap out all your
but you
gear.
can do that in there. Just make a gear set called Eureka,
Wow.
and you can
Hmm.
change class if you'd like to in there. It's an open
Yeah.
world within a duty.
Also,
I actually realized kind of why it's a duty now. Like yesterday, that's when I realized, because I was like, yeah, of course it has to be cross data center, otherwise you could have some servers where there were no one in Eureka.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good point. I had not thought about that at all. You're so right.
Yeah,
because then you'd be on on Zalera with Rolo, and he'd be the only person there.
It's just Rolo running around.
Really sad.
Oh.
All the bands too. Everyone's Zalera is gone.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, all those Zalera people. Ungarmax, dude, what's up?
I was the one spreading it around, telling everybody, "Hey guys, got this new Ungarmax."
Rolo just really wanted to be peaceful and quiet with nobody around, so he's like, "Guys, this is totally okay. Just do it."
Yeah.
I listen. I'm on the podcast. I got some.
You can trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's in spaghetti content.
Yeah.
I just told everybody my war specifically, so I can buy up the entire war.
God. Okay. I hope you learned something. You don't learn anything from this. It's one thing you should know. You never learn anything.
It was a fun discussion.
It was a fun discussion.
Yeah. Let us know where you guys sit on that.
Yeah.
If you sit in the middle.
Preferably within the next 3 days.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're cheating.
Yeah. You're gonna be cheating if you say it. If you comment on like Saturday or something.
Yeah.
Yoshi P, I know you're watching. Take some more ideas. Those are free. All of those are just free.
Those are free.
Yeah.
Just quote me, make me an NPC in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd love to be an NPC.
Yeah. Okay. It's time for MogMail now. We've got a lot. I'm sorry, we probably can't read all of them. But we'll read.
I've just read one of them and I like it.
We'll let's go into MogMail first. So a warning again: you're not
guys. Keep the game open, guys.
You're not going to get an.
Trust me, you've got friends.
There's a mail sound that comes up now.
Love how you have to warn them. You're gonna have to take it out one day, or just stop warning them.
Okay.
Every time.
Okay, welcome to MogMail. Let's just run into our first MogMail. This one's from Kamir, my boy, from Lich.
Come in, my boy.
I ran into that trap. Damn it. Here's a question that's directed towards Lakil. Can you tell us about the final days and hours of 1.0 from your personal experience, like how you felt when they announced the Realm Reborn, when everyone in the game got together for the final moments, when the servers went down, when the end of an era trailer came out, etc.
Oh god, that name.
I'm still laughing at the name.
Hook, line, and sinker, dude.
Come here, my boy.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. It was such a good name, we had to run the intro twice. So that's that. It's okay. I guess, am I the only one here that was there on the last day? Yeah.
Man, I don't think any of us played 1.0. The last day, I mean.
No, not the last day. Hell no.
Okay, well, 1.0 was, the end of 1.0 was absurd because, I mean, everyone knew that 1.0 was shit, but at the time that was Final Fantasy 14. And before, I remember before, there was like this weird, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but there was this weird point in time where no one really knew if it was going to be a Realm Reborn, if we were ever going, if it was just going to die, if we were just going to blow it up, end it. I remember that period. I remember vividly because, and I mean, we're all gonna one day 14 is going to end and we're going to be there again. But this was different because it was so early. Like the game had just started and it was starting to get good. And I say good, in retrospect, it was not good. It was just better. But it kind of felt like, oh, the game is playable now. The game is playable. Come. And we felt like there was an influx because people they dropped the sub fee. Mm-hmm. And there was this like artificial feeling of the game being successful. And I remember
it
was a facade. It was very much so. And it was like this lie that every player had built up in their mind that the game's going to make it. The game's going to make it. Yoshi P is going to fix the game. It's going to be fine. And then they announced that they were going to update it to 2.0. They said update first. So we just thought we'd still use the same client and everything. And they will just have this massive update that was just going to fix everything. And then they said, yeah, we're going to blow it up. And there was this I remember the last day, this tiny dot that had now become this massive thing, and I was in Ul'dah. I was at like I remember where I was too. There was this, of course, there was the wall, the Gobu wall, that appeared around Ul'dah, and it was very difficult staying online. Sadly, I have no screenshots from. I have not. Don't even like. I think I don't even. I know I have no pictures because the computer I used then is dead, and I didn't back it up. I remember I had a link shell, with like 50 people on. Oh, 50. That's a bit much for 1.0. 25 maybe. It was a pretty big link shell, but it was only like 25 people on it. And we were talking, and then this system message comes up like, we've lost connection to the main host or whatever, and suddenly the thing goes red. That moment, I think I'll never forget, because you know that's never gonna turn green again. And we were mid-sentence. I was like, if this game does not come back online, I'll never talk to them again. We didn't have Teams. We didn't have TeamSpeak. Didn't have anything to talk. So everything just stopped immediately. That was soul crushing. I remember that. That was harsh. And then we got the trailer served in the launcher, if I recall correctly. After the game closed, there was like a link to the video on the launcher, and then I watched.
Wasn't it supposed to autoplay originally?
Wasn't
that the idea?
No, that was that's like a myth that someone's created because that's like the perfect ending, right? The game ends, and then here comes the trailer. Right. The client couldn't handle that probably, so there was it didn't crash, but when you closed it, if you reopened the launcher, you could
yeah. How do you autoplay a video when you stay connected in general?
Yeah, exactly, right.
People were disconnecting all day on the last day, right? It
was so hard to stay on, and I was like, you better fucking stay to the end. And I remember there was, on the day that it happened, there was like the launcher too was like doomsday, because there was a counter and there was a picture of Dalamud and like time until impact, and it was like tink tink tink, and I was like, I have to stay on, and I disconnected like 30 minutes before the server actually crashed, and just seeing the launcher like ticking to 29 minutes, I'm like, I'm gonna be stuck in the queue while it happens. And I got on, and I was just in Ul'dah. I think I was at camp, what's it called, the one that's closest, a camp
to where?
I was in Thanlon, camp, the one that's closest, the starter camp. I can't remember the name. Yes, is that where it's? I can't remember. It's the closest one. Whatever. I had to run on. I had to use my chocobo to run to Ul'dah, and the rubber banding. Oh, there was so much rubber banding running from that fucking camp. No, wait, that camp. Yeah, that camp. And I can't even explain. I've never seen that amount of lag in an MMO in my life. And I played. I mean, MMO 1.0 was pretty laggy all its life. But like I would like walk from, like, let's say I walked like 100 meters, and I would rubber band back 50. And just knowing that this thing was ticking and ticking and ticking. Oh my God. I made it though. I made it. I stood there with my friends on the rock.
I guess like every second, you would feel like you're wasting us every second, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, we have to do so many things that I can never get the chance to do again.
Yeah, and the link shell is like, Nikhil, it's happening, and I'm like, oh my way. Yeah. And
so
then
wait, quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you ever like keep in contact with those people? Because
I did. Thankfully, the lodestone was still open, so we could get in touch via that. And we did meet up after in a Realm Reborn. I speak to none of them now. Most of them went back to 11 or stopped playing entirely.
Went back to 11.
Some of them did. Some of them did. Sure. But yeah, that soul-crushing moment when after it is done and you can't log in, and you know I cannot log back in ever. It's pretty harsh. So, and we're all gonna experience that just to make everyone depressed. That's gonna happen one day with this game too. So look forward to it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
it'll be more somber, I think, because 14
it'll
was
be more
good.
Yeah, it'll be more. Yeah, it will have more dignity when it goes out. This game, it'll blowing it up was a bit harsh.
Honestly, they'll probably be like 10 years from now or something like that.
Yeah. And I think it'll feel natural then, and also because of age obviously too, but for people that like are I feel like they're gonna just release another online Final Fantasy game. We talked about this, and it will just feel natural to transfer over there, like people did with 11, from 11 to 14. So yeah, that's that. Thank you, come here, my boy.
Such a good name. That is the best name so far. On a MogMail.
You got him, guys.
Okay,
try more.
Let's go to the next one. I think this one will be quick.
This is the best one.
This is from Kabuto from Tiramisu, or Tiramisu as I like to call it. Lukiel, why don't you ever remember to do my daily quests? Where's everything aimed at me? I'll have you know, Kabuto, I'm done with your fucking quests. I'm done. That's why I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
You gave me everything I wanted, and now I'm done with you. Ciao.
Who's dumb?
Yeah,
add a second mount. Maybe I'll come back.
Yeah. Add another fucking manta ray, dude. Sure.
Yeah, dude. Come on. One that glows this time.
Yeah.
Wow. Poor guy.
Okay, now here's the next one from Kurt Hectic. Hello, speakers of Idland. I loved Fall and Rise of Final Fantasy XIV, and even today I like to see anything related to 1.0, and you did a great job making the series. Congratulations for the channel and everything you do for the 14 players. Whew, thank you. Question for speakers of Idland. How was your first days playing Final Fantasy XIV 2.0 after the release, or when you started the game for the first time? Thanks, and may ever walk in the light of the crystal. P.S. Lukiel, don't forget regen. I never forget it. It's a myth that I don't use regen. It's just because of how I edit it.
I didn't see it in the middle of my level. I don't know, Lukiel. I don't think you used
I didn't actually look for it this time, but I'm pretty sure I did. Okay. Does anyone want to start with their experience of starting?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, Roland, go ahead.
So when I joined, it was like 2.4, 2.3, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I hated it. To be honest, because I didn't have any friends playing, and I got in a humble bundle because it was like a few bucks. It was like, whatever, I'll try out this MMO. I don't really like MMOs, and so I played it for like a week as like whatever, and then a friend of mine saw I was playing or that I tried it out like months later. By the time like 2.4 came out. And he said, "Hey, you should come join the server. I'll pay your sub for a month or something, and just come try it out. Just join Delera." And I was like, "Fine, whatever." And so I got on, and I called my character something stupid because I was like, "I'm not gonna fucking play. I just want to appease him." And then I got stuck.
Yeah, I
tried out Monk, and I hated it first because I couldn't understand how to use combos in an MMO in positionals. I was like, oh, I'll just play Paladin. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So Rollo hated it, everyone. He hated it at first.
Hated it. Wow.
I did. And I was like, what is this? People like this? What?
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I played the beta. I never played 1.0, obviously, but I played the beta. And then when I jumped on, I didn't know anyone. I just, having fun. I was an Ellison dude.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Is what?
I used to be an Ellison, yes.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Go back, dude.
Yeah.
Where's the screenshots? Post them.
Go back.
The trouble is, that computer's broken, so I don't have any of those screenshots. And I logged out in the Wailing Spirit, so you can't see my character on the lodestone.
Oh, no.
It's just a ghost.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You showed it to me. Yeah.
But I know I loved it at the start. I got so addicted. Got in a cool free company.
Yeah.
Probably will never speak to any of them again.
Yeah.
And then that sort of broke up, and then I sort of, wandered off from the game, and then came back.
Yeah.
On Myla.
Yeah.
And played it like every day for like a whole year. Hours and hours and hours. It was great. Loved it. Loved this game.
Yes?
I was so bad, dude. I had a brief experience with 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to ever touch that again.
I understand.
I was pretty much done. I had played a lot of 11, and I had gone back briefly to 11 in between the time when I stopped playing 1.0. 11 was there. I was starting to get bored of 11 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my coworkers at the time was like, dude, we used to play 1.0 a little bit.
Oh.
Look at the game. Look at the plans. They're getting their stuff. That's all happening. And I was on the hype train very fast. Final Fantasy fanboy, real surprised that I would get stupid hyped for a Final Fantasy game, right?
Yeah.
So I had probably way too much hype. Luckily, I was not disappointed. But I started as a paladin, like most people do for some reason. I don't know why so many people started as a paladin or gladiator, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I was really bad. Like, didn't know how provoke worked, obviously.
Yeah.
Would argue with people that I knew how provoke worked and I didn't. I was just one of those players, right?
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, I think I know what I'm doing, so therefore I know what I'm doing. Eventually I was like, this is bad. I switched to Black Mage, started actually enjoying myself. I know what you're gonna say, man. Let's just stop right now. I was very very, very good.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, basically.
Yeah.
Then I stopped living and breathing, and it became my life.
Yeah.
It's like an AA meeting.
It pretty much
It is. Yeah, it is.
I first tried Final Fantasy when I was 16.
It was a very, very slippery slope, I tell you.
Yeah.
I started with some smaller MMOs, but I got hooked on the big stuff.
My start in 14 was, more or less a continuation of 1.0. Though I did the biggest, I'm the dumbest person, I think, that is alive. I know some. Okay, so the link shell that I had reconnected with, we had like this pact that we would delete our main character from 1.0 and start fresh in our Realm Reborn. And
Biggest mistake, if you like.
I had, we didn't think far. We thought, all the stuff that's here, that's still going to be here in a Realm Reborn, right? So we can get this again. It doesn't matter. That's not what happened, was it? So I deleted my main. I kept my mule, which was Lukiel. And so Lukiel is not actually my main. Exposed. So I started, also found out when I started that my link shell had all moved to Sargetanus, I believe. Sargetanus. And I was the only one on Ragnarok. So I was alone and on my mule. So it was a pretty sad start for your boy Lukiel. But I managed to get a friend of mine who has the only game she'd ever played was The Sims. So I had to teach her how to play Final Fantasy XIV, and she ironically ended up as the founding father or founding mother of this podcast, Vero Sombrero. So there you go. But yeah, also I have to say, like, a lot of people that came from 1.0 were like, it was hard to adjust to our Realm Reborn's play style, because I think there's like this, because we'd like built up an MMO should be like this, hard and boring and like everything should be painful, and everything should be locked behind terrible content that no one wants to do. Realm Reborn is pretty good. Was pretty good in comparison to 1.0.
In comparison, yeah.
Yeah, so after that I was locked in. Okay, we're gonna have to skip number 4 and jump to 5, because that one's too long. We'll save it for next week. So we'll just jump to number 5, because we can do that one quick. This one is from Soroya Lita from Tonberry. In an attempt to fill out your time slot, here's a slightly dull question. What made you choose your avatar's appearance and race? Was it just the default and character select, or was there more to it? Greetings from Weeberry, Soroya Lita.
Weeberry.
Does anyone want to start there? I'll because mine is easy. I played Final Fantasy XI. I was a Hume, and that was basically just the most basic Hume ever. And I'm like, that's my character. I'll just be that. And in 14, yeah, that's why Lukiel is a hero. And I've never changed race ever. So I mean, I have alts that are different races, but like
I don't.
But you know, my main is always Lukiel is always a here. The only ult I have that's not a here is the Lalafell on Siren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyone else want to go? Yes.
I'm a dirty elf boy. I've been a dirty elf boy since day one.
Why?
I don't know. I think they're dope.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like Lord of the Rings or something like that, you know, led to it at some point.
Yeah.
I guess because I was an Elvon in 11 as well, which you know, obviously it's that. But and then I just made my character to look as unique as possible. That's why I gave him like disgusting eyes where they're all like tired. He looks like he wants to die.
Yeah.
I went Elzen and loved it. Hated my original character. Actually, I've looked at him since, and he looks like shit. His hair was so like they had no good hairstyles at the beginning.
Yeah,
he had like 3 shitty weeb styles to pick from. They all terrible. So things have gotten better. It is a bright day, but Elzen always. I have all my alts look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mostly. Maybe a mustache or some hair is different, but. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm all about it. No, I'm good.
Rollo? Just we should probably explain, like, okay, yeah, what's the race of your character right now?
So I should say, but the first character I made, like when I first started playing the game,
mm-hmm.
I was really unsatisfied with the character creator. So I was like, usually my philosophy is, if I can't make, you know, kind of like a dude I'm happy that looks kind of cool, I'll just make a girl, because making a cute girl in most games it's easy. It's super easy.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I made a Keeper of the Sun or Seeker of the Sun. And I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna play this game anyway, so fuck it. And then my second character, which is my main character now, I made him a big, tall, brown Highlander. Because I was like, I'm not really going to play this game either, so whatever, just make him look like a goofy guy. And he had like a pompadour at first because it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my I was like, the character you see on here, I was like, fuck it, I like cute girls. So
yeah.
And I like cat girls, so it was that easy.
Okay, Myla? You're an Aura, right now.
I want to hear the story about this Elzen, though.
So for the Elzen, I think because I just quite like elves in general, in most fantasy settings, and I was a archer as well, so I thought it fits pretty well.
Wildwood or Duskwhite?
Let me try and look.
Probably Wildwood, I would assume.
I think it was a Wildwood, or it might have been like you, and I'd made a massive mistake as a Duskwood and gone.
To be honest, I'll open the veil right now. I didn't do that on purpose. I just didn't know. I mean, when I made my character, I didn't know what a Duskwhite was. So that's actually why I'm so pale and the right color.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? It's an option under the Duskwhite creator. So if they really didn't want it to be in there, like you can't go blue as a Hellsguard.
It was a Duskwhite. Yeah, he was a Duskwhite.
Mila, you're the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
I don't like you anymore because you're not that same human you used to be. But you know.
Yeah.
But I think I just went for it because at that time I wanted to pick a male character, and they seemed a pretty good option. And then when I came back to the game, I'd got it with Heavensward, and I thought, you know, it's a new race. I might as well try the new race.
Mm-hmm.
And in the nicest possible way, and very sorry to all male Aura players, but they look awful. So I went for the girl because they look really good.
Uh-huh.
You don't like Sonic the Hedgehog?
Nope.
You don't like their very goofy gait when they run, that it doesn't really
and
match.
They just look so they're like
nope.
Okay, let's be nice to the Aura.
They look like they got a brain hemorrhage at all times.
The only thing I like about the male ones is that their like facial hair is scale, so they have like a scale mustache. There's that old.
That is kind of cool.
That was quite funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm a cute dragon girl, and that's everything I've ever wanted to be.
Yeah. So
I love the tall boys.
We touched briefly on the gender of the character. Is there a specific reason? Because I know everyone's going to say, if that's the character you're going to stare at for hours, so it might as well be a girl. That's the old argument, as old as time itself. But
for me, it was honestly just because the male ones look like trash. The only male characters I would have been would either be an Ellison, which I'd already done once, so I thought try something new.
Yeah.
Or a Lalafell. And I'm not going to be a Lalafell.
I disown you. You'll be off this podcast.
I think for me, the reason why I went male was just I wanted something that was easier for me to project myself onto. I think personally.
I said, yeah, I assume that's why I did that, and I can, yeah, I don't know. It's also there is this weird stigma with being a girl in a video game too. I'm not saying, oh, you're a girl. It's not that. It's more the, oh, you're gonna wank to that. You're gonna.
Yeah, it's like you see, it's more the opposite where you see a female. That's not a female.
Yeah, right, exactly. So with me, you get, there's a dude on the. I don't get all these tells that female players often get from male characters or sometimes female characters. You never know. So there's no confusion there. No, I think it's the same reason as Yas. It's just I can relate more to a her than a female cat lady, I guess.
For sure.
Whatever floats your boat.
That's why I picked a guy for my main character, and for the podcast, it was like, let's have some fun. I never really played girls in a game. It's not really my thing.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. And I think we do actually have one more. Should we? It's you know which one I'm talking about. It could be very long, right? We can do it quickly though. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
We have some time to spare, so let's just get it out of the way. From Rad Cerberus, didn't put a server, that's fine. There's Speakers of Idlin. While I'm in a content lull, doing some old dungeons, etc. Right before Eureka hits this week, I was wondering if there were any plans in digging up some in-game lore of bygone Eorzean cultures, explaining how they rose and fell, their politics and their era impacting late Eorzea. Of course, I'm expecting Yas to have his turn on Galmora. What is your favorite 14 lore/culture? P.S. Keep up the good work.
I have no idea how you ever assumed that I would say Galmora is my favorite.
Thank you, Rad Cerberus, by the way. Yeah.
Because it's not.
So this, I don't know, there's the post show. That's where most of that happens now. We're going to look at exactly what you asked for there. I think everyone knows that my favorite civilization or fallen civilization in Eorzeea is the Allegan Empire. Because it's weird, because Yas likes Galmora, which we know almost nothing about. And I love...
Nikhil goes, hey, does anybody know what this is?
Yeah, we did. And I did Secrets of a Realm. Yeah, it was so frustrating. You'll see it in the post show. And the Allegan Empire we know a lot about, but we don't really know like how. I can't really like picture a town, an Allegan like just normal settlement.
I agree.
I know what you mean. Like we just think of them as always creating things and going to war or whatever, not just
and like
citizens.
As's Law. Like it didn't look like that because that's just
like where are their buildings?
Yeah,
like, where
exactly.
they're just houses.
Yeah,
they're always chemical research facilities and like aether manipulation shit. Like there's never like apartment housing number 22.
Yeah,
you know, like there's never like this is where Joe lived, by the way. Like,
yeah. Good old Joe.
Yeah,
Joe Allegan, you know him.
Good old Joe Allegan. Yeah, Myla, do you have any other than what we've mentioned?
Sort of in-game, the ones that you can see a lot of are like a sort of Ishgard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty big on snowy Ishgardy places. Thank you, Adam.
Woo!
Woo! The ones that we don't know a huge amount about that I want to know more about. It's not really a culture. It's an area. It's Mericidia, land of
that's a good answer.
Dragons. So I want to know more about. Whoa,
Myla, no.
Couldn't help it. You just had to.
That one was amazing. It was like a.
No, move on. And
sorry, audio listeners.
Yeah, Mericidia, because what's it like there? I imagine it's like some horrible, desolate wasteland, but
yeah,
there's a few pictures in the lore book.
Not a lot, though, is there?
No, I think it's like 2.
So I'd love to know more about Mericidia. And a bit of the
Yeah.
old world as well.
I will let you know there's a little bit of lore you can find about Marasidia as this law, actually. A very small amount. If you go looking.
Oh.
Oh, that's a little breadcrumb.
There's a little breadcrumb.
Breadcrumb. Rollo, do you have anything?
Yeah.
anything
I'm gonna
left?
say the Amdapori, actually. Because I don't know, I really like the idea of kind of like a magical artisan society where it's like a big culture and arts and all that, and they have these giant guardian statues too. They could just at any moment could just kill you with stone one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some nice bits and pieces in there too, so you can sort of see how life was like for them, or at least assume. I'd also say Charlayans, even though they're still kind of they're a thing.
You're talking about more old Charlayan?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't think you get too much of that. You just get just a few tidbits here and there.
Yeah.
I can actually come up with a secondary answer.
Oh, wow.
Because my default would be Gelmore.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's whatever. But actually, if I had another choice.
Charlayanes.
Charlayanes. Sorry, we've been pronouncing it wrong all the time.
Sorry. Charlayanes. Yeah. My other answer would actually be the New World.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued. Do I know what civilization rose or fell or anything of the sort? I have no idea whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
But
Lalafels.
I don't know. They did not come from the New World. I'm interested. What did Merylweb see? She never tells anyone.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like she's been there. She stepped foot on it. So
yeah.
Here's to hoping for a New World expansion one.
Maybe one day.
All we know is that I think Pamamas come from the New World or something.
So
we have bananas on Eorzea and they have Pamamas. That's about all we know, I think.
Aren't the Kikin from the New World?
Ooh.
No, you're thinking of the Jaw.
The Mamul
Jaw. Yeah.
There are a couple remnants that have jumped over, aren't there? And obviously Lalafell some come from the New World, don't they?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
They do.
Lalafells don't come from the New World.
Pretty confident.
No,
they're from the other
They
place,
They marched from the south, dude.
We're gonna cover races soon, so don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll clear it up then.
We don't know anything.
We don't know anything. You have to always
I know
remember,
that they're not from the New World.
We don't know anything, and that's the podcast. And it quite literally is the podcast because that's the end. We'll reach the end of this episode of Speakers of Island, episode 83. March 10th, 2018. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That's SpeakersXIV/SpeakersXIV. I feel like the Facebook is a meme, but sinking ship, blah, blah, blah. YouTube.com/SpeakersXIV is where you'll find our content, and Twitch.tv/SpeakersOfIreland is where you'll find our streams, and !Discord if you're watching live. You can join our Discord channel. We have a Discord server. We have a meme channel. And please post there. It's my life. And what else do you have to do?
Send us MogMail.
That's right, yes. SpeakersXIV.com/MogMail. Remember, you have to wait for the confirmation. Wait for the confirmation. Otherwise, we won't get it.
We have to pick minimum item level.
You are a god.
Oh.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Oh, there's a charger on.
Oh.
It's a European plug. Look at this
Oh
curiosity. Whoa.
Two-pronged.
How does power go through it?
How does that work? Okay.
Thank you, Umberwind.
Thanks, Umberwind.
Okay, let's pull. What do you think? Okay, everyone place your bets.
God.
You don't have. Yeah.
Well, Rollo always gets it right.
No, I have only got it right once.
I'm gonna go Copper Bell Mine.
Oof.
That's not nice.
I thought we did it already.
If we did it already, then
Holy
Copper Bell Mine's
I mean,
hard.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pick. Fuck. Did we do the Eerie? I'm gonna go with Eerie.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We haven't done the Eerie. No.
Zamile Darkhold.
Okay. I'm gonna go Ormvale. Oh, I can't look.
Yeah, you know, if it actually is Ormvale, I am probably not going to come tomorrow.
Can I call out sick?
Our fate has been sealed, and
I can't deal with it.
And it is.
Thanks, Quick Levin.
Hullbreaker Isle.
I'm okay with this.
Sure.
I'm okay with this. I like
normal
Hullbreaker.
Why isn't it?
normal.
Whatever.
I like Hullbreaker.
That's
Okay.
all right.
So remember to tune
You
into
like Hullbreaker hard?
minimum eye level, Hullbreaker
That's okay.
Isle tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT, 11 a.m. PDT. And do make sure to stay tuned for the post show on twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHighland, because we're going to premiere Secrets of a Realm and also discuss the history and lore behind Ul'dah. So stay tuned for that. That is on Twitch only. So if you're on YouTube, better jump on over. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.